Greetings from the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, Tombstone Chapter. We are here today to discuss what the DAR is. My name is Charlotte Driggers, and I am the current Public Relations and Media Chair for Tombstone Chapter. And I have here with me today Ms. Carol Rilling, Honorary Vice President General. Carol, what is your definition of DAR?
Charlotte, the DAR is a nonprofit, non-political, 130-year-old, worldwide, we have 22 chapters overseas, service organization, and we just do three things. We are absolutely devoted to three things: historic preservation, education, and patriotism. Got a great example of all of those. I'll just quickly on the patriotism. This is a great example. When we, the DAR, found out that World War II men were dying without any friend or relative at their service, we said, oh no, could we please have permission to stand silently? And we do that at those services. Just a minute about criteria for membership. Membership is obtained by any woman over the age of 18. Doesn't have to be a U.S. citizen. That's an important thing to remember. Over the age of 18 that can prove lineal bloodline descent from anyone who gave aid and comfort to the American Revolution. Remember, that was that 8-year war we had with George III, 1783. And by proving a connection with that 8-year period, that is the criteria for joining the DAR. And in our chapter, Charlotte, we have 10 women who are highly trained in assisting prospective members in filling out the 4-page legal-sized document that you really need help. We just don't give the application out. It's just too hard. We have help with that. And a word about those three tenets. Those three things we do: historic preservation, education, patriotism. That is what we are really connected to, Charlotte. Those three things.
Could you give another example of, say, what we do in the area of education?
After World War II, DAR had about 20 schools. But now we have about 6 to 8 schools that we support in various ways. A couple of them we support all around the clock, 24 hours a day. And we also have about 3 Indian schools across this country. We have 1 college. And we're just very, very honored to be connected with all of those. It's wonderful.
And can you give me an example of historic preservation?
Yes, across the country, many, many states, even over in Hawaii. Let's just take Oregon. For example, Oregon has 4 properties, historic properties. They take care of them completely. Many of the states do across the country. In Arizona, we do not have any property that we maintain, but I do love to talk about the one in Hawaii. It's a lovely home that someone was given, and they turned it into a library, a community library. They have over 4,000 titles, and everybody can come to that library. I just wish we had something like that here in our state, too, but we don't.
Well, we'll be back in just a few minutes after this.
Hi, this is Chaplain John Hahn. I would like to invite the Fort Huachuca community to attend this year's National Prayer Breakfast. This event will take place on Thursday, the 20th of February. It begins at 6:30 a.m. at the Thunder Mountain Activity Center. This year's theme is Be Thou My Vision, and our guest speaker is Chaplain Andrew R. Harewood, U.S. Army Senior Chaplain Advisor. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hello again. This is Charlotte Driggers with the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution, Tombstone Chapter, and Carol Rilling, our Honorary Vice President General. And we would like to discuss some of the things that DAR does nationally, in the state of Arizona, and locally in your community. Carol, would you like to start with some of the national things that DAR does?
Yes, I'd love to talk about the Madonna of the Trail, Charlotte. Before World War I, we, the DAR, said, let's mark the old trails across America from Upland, California to Bethesda, Maryland. Let's mark those old trails. That'd be Highway 66 and then Route 40. And we'll put signs on barns and we'll put signs up. And then World War I came along and we let that rest. And then after World War I, we said, no, we're not just going to do signs on barns. Let's build these wonderful statues, the Madonna of the Trail. And so we have them across America, put them up in about 1928. They're 19 foot tall. They're made out of algonite, the stone algonite. They're wonderful statues of a pioneer woman with her infant child and then a 5 or 6 year old child with her. And they're across this country. And we have one in Arizona, Springerville, Arizona, and I hope you'll go see it. When you see any of them, you'll be so very, very happy that we have marked those old trails in America. I would love to tell something about after the Spanish-American War, there was a dearth of nurses. So we, the DAR, said, gosh, we'll help out. And we began to take applications. We had over 4,000 applications for nurses. And this began the Army Nurse Corps that we now have today. And by our helping with the applications and submitting them, we then gave pensions to every one of those nurses after World War I. It was a very nice thing to talk about, I think.
Well, locally, Tombstone Chapter has donated patriotic children's book to a school here on our own Fort Huachuca in recognition of literacy program. Also, recently in October 2019, the DAR Tombstone Chapter became a member of the Adopt a Highway program, and in December they erected our sign that has our name on it, and we collect trash and debris between mile markers 331 and 332 on both sides of the road. And we did this on National Day of Service.
Yes. Oh.
Also, DAR has awarded 4 good DAR citizenship awards to Tombstone, Buena, Bisbee, and Douglas high schools. And we invite those students to join us, I believe, at the April meeting every year and present their awards and photograph them. And their parents are invited, and sometimes the ROTC instructors come. We also have participated in the Southern Arizona Veterans Cemetery Ladies and Gentlemen organization and have attended interments of various veterans to give them a lasting tribute. We give them a card of condolence and simple words of sympathy. So those are some of the examples in the local community. Can you think of any others, Carol?
I've mentioned the fact that we send dictionaries to many of the Indian reservations here in this state. We've been doing that for several years.
I thought of another thing that we do locally. We support the Forgash House.
Oh, yeah.
Every year in November, we take up a huge collection. The Forgash House provides a list of what is needed, and our members collect it, and a group of us take over the items.
Oh, yes, that's right. I just happened to think of another great thing we've done overseas. After World War I, in the town of Tilloy, France, the entire waterworks was ruined in World War I, and we said, let's step in and fix that. And so we did. We fixed the entire waterworking for that town. And I've had the privilege of being at one of the rededications of that town, where the town folk made a wonderful meal, wonderful French bread, great cheeses, and some very, very nice French wine. And it's just wonderful to know that we've been helping in those areas too, Charlotte.
Yes, and I think I forgot to mention that we have over 1 million members now in DAR. And I would like to mention that because we surpassed 1 million members in October this year, 2019. Well, I think that we've about covered it, Carol.
We could continue on forever, really.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Anyway,
You,
we'd like to thank you for letting us visit with you today.